To anybody out there that's currently in New York City who's taking the time to click on this video, I just want to know what the hell is going on there. This video here, it circulated on Twitter here yesterday, and it shows that the police were called to this guy's residence for a parking violation and then bust through the door to check how many people were there. That's a bunch of Orthodox Jews. Like, what the fuck is going on in New York City? I can hardly believe what is going on with my eyes. I know that there's been a bubbling undercurrent of several different communities kind of mixing it up here during the pandemic, and it seems like the leadership itself, the leadership class, is taking it out on the Jews exceptionally hard. And it's just really fucking unsettling, personally. But here, we'll start with everybody's favorite mayor. Blasio apologizes to ultra-Orthodox leaders over lack of communication for COVID-19. I don't think it's a lack of communication as much as you're taking out your anti-Semitic views on a certain community, but I don't know, maybe I'm just not being too generous enough to the situation. Mayor Bill de Blasio offered a rare mea culpa Tuesday to ultra-Orthodox Jewish leaders in Brooklyn and Queens, saying he didn't clearly explain coronavirus regulations to the community that's now under a second lockdown because of rising infection rates. Now, I did, the last time that we took a look at New York City, I broke down what the fuck they're currently going through, and it's driving everybody out. It's eroding the tax base, and Bill de Blasio is wondering why. Meanwhile, he's mocking the people that are leaving town, and Anthony Cuomo, who we'll get to in a hot second, is begging them to come back, and at the same time wanting to squash, these are his words, Cuomo's words and not mine, stomp out certain problem sections that aren't adhering to the rules. I think I'm paraphrasing, but yeah, that's a certain type of dictatorial speak that I know I'm not terribly comfortable with. I certainly got very frustrated at times when I saw large groups of people that, we know what he means, still without masks, but I think more dialogue would have been better, so I certainly want to express my regret that I didn't figure out how to do that better. Well, you could start by just doing your entire job better, but what a half-hearted ass apology his owner met with community leaders Monday night in what he described as a positive reset of their relationship, which has soured during the shutdown because some conservatively devout Jews feel they're being singled out due to the restrictions based on their religion. I don't know if you guys remember this, but during the first wave of lockdowns in, I think it was March or April, he was welding closed gates. This is in New York City. Bill de Blasio did this. Welded closed gates of normally Jewish parks in order to keep them out and stop them from congregating. Yeah, he has a long history of being an anti-Semitic piece of shit, and if he was doing this to any other group, I would also be making this video, but all of his activism for social causes seems to come at the cost of a certain group of people that don't really adhere to his ideology and just want to be left alone. But like I said earlier, he's not the only bag of shit. Politician, rightfully elected politician, that has taken their frustrations out on the Jewish community. Cuomo declines to apology to Orthodox Jews community over COVID-19 lockdown. This was a day after Bill de Blasio apologized for personally singling out the Jewish community. Governor Andrew Cuomo said Wednesday that he sees no reason to offer an apology to Brooklyn and Queens ultra-Orthodox Jewish communities over their recent COVID-19 hotspot lockdowns, as did Mayor Bill de Blasio a day earlier. No, Cuomo said during an Albany press briefing when asked by a Post reporter whether he believes an apology is owned. I am sorry they feel the disruption. I am sorry that they are disrupted. Their religious ceremonies are disrupted. How many people they can have in a synagogue is disrupted. We get it. Enough about the disruption. How many people they can have at their wedding is disrupted. Ugh. And the operation of the schools is, insert a word here. I'm not saying it again. I am sorry for that, said Cuomo, but I'm not going to apologize by saying I'm sorry. What an asshole. The governor continued, "It is the same way I'm sorry to the Catholic community and the Muslim community and to all New Yorkers." What a lump of shit. What a disingenuous piece of shit. And you know, this type of behavior where you're mandating people wear masks at all time is exactly the type of future you can expect if you elected Joe Biden, because if you remember during his, I believe it was the town hall with George Stephanopoulos, where he said that I will only impose a mask mandate on federal land. And if I'm elected, I'm going to get together all of the governors and try to convince them to institute a statewide mandate to wear masks. And if I can't get the governors to do it, I'm going to get all the mayors together and make them do it. So this is the type of future you can expect. And it's not one that I would like to adhere to, because there's very contravening science when it comes to your own homemade masks. I won't say that the surgical masks, because this is a different study, of course, that the homemade masks, unless you wash them in a high temperature industrial strength washer, they do next to nothing if they aren't perfectly sanitized. It's a worthless practice if you're not wearing a clean, fresh mask. That's what that study has to say. Feel free to wear a mask if you want, and don't feel that you have to. Don't feel that you need to be pressured by these fucking insane COVID-tarians. But because people are tired of this fucking never-ending pandemic, which social distancing might be in until 2020, go fuck your hat. That is why, I don't know, man. I wouldn't lay money on it, but I think at worst, we're going to see a huge closing in the polls in New York State when it comes to the general election this time around. We might see New York flip, and that would be the shock to end all shocks. That would literally burn down CNN, and Rachel Maddow would start pouring gasoline on the desk if New York ever gets called for the Republicans, especially Trump this time around. But speaking of Trump, what did he have to say on the situation? Family describes horror as violent maskless rioters throw rocks, attack Jews for Trump convoy. Well, he's trying to step up for the community. He's trying his fucking best, because he sees that the injustice that de Blasio, that Cuomo, that their brown shirt squads that come down to crack down on the Jewish community are doing. And you know what? Trump offers hope. If you go back and listen to the debates and the town halls, Trump is offering hope. Trump's message is positive. Joe Biden's is of fear. They want to keep you, when I say they, right now I'm referring to Democrats, they want to keep you sad, scared, and afraid, because they have all the answers. They can fix everything for you. Trump is saying, hey, go out there and figure it out for yourself. We will offer you the opportunity for you to fix it yourself. And that is, I can't think of a starker contrast. I know what side of the road I'm going to find myself on. I know that I am always for freedom. Family of 7, including 4 kids, were pepper sprayed by violent rioters on Sunday while participating in a Jews for Trump rally in New York City. A member of the family told Fox News that an unprovoked attack happened while the family was driving down Fifth Avenue with the car windows down and Trump flags displayed. A man who wished to remain anonymous, fearing his family could be targeted, said a car pulled up next to them and unleashed pepper spray into their vehicle. Immediately, the kids started crying and screaming, and I jumped out of the car after I was sprayed as well, the man said. As you can see, we have pictures of the Jews for Trump convoy, which, you know what, last election cycle, I don't remember any huge Trump rallies in New York City. I'm sure they happened outside of the city, upstate and such, but huge contrast between 16 and 20, as we're seeing now. Multiple videos of the convoy posted to NY Scanner show crowds not taking too kindly to the row of vehicles with hoisted Trump 2020 flags. One video, a man can be seen appearing to throw an egg at the convoy in Brooklyn. Another video, pedestrians can be seen to throw rocks at vehicles displaying a Trump flag. One man, on a bike no less, appears so incensed that a pro-Trump vehicle have congested traffic on Brooklyn that he resorted to punching a window. Oh, like Goldberg, I hope, and teared up his arm, but actually, that's a perfect analogy, even though that just came to mind. Just flip reverse it, because this time the Jew was the limo, and the skinny little thug on a bike is a piece of shit. Actually, it's not as perfect as I imagined it. You might get it. But it's amazing how Black Lives Matter can charge and march and riot for racial equality, for social justice. But if you're the wrong type of race or wrong type of religion, you don't need to be as equal as we're trying to be. That's fine. You stay on the other side. You're white now. Don't worry about it. Too successful. You're white. It's ridiculous. I can't believe we're seeing anti-Semitism at this level in the year of our Lord 2020. But yeah, fascists going to fascist. What the fuck are you gonna say else? I thought this is an important message because I don't think anybody else is talking about it, and you should know about the horrible practices that are happening in the dilapidated New York City. And If the polls are close on the 3rd in New York State, this is part of the reason why. And de Blasio and Cuomo are the other big reasons why. But I thank you all very much for the gift of your time. I've been Don Consuelo. I want you guys to follow your gut and get after it. Take care, everyone.